Hey everybody, Jeroen here with another Star Citizen update and commentary on Alpha 3.11 upcoming features and what I think is going to be really exciting. One of the most exciting features for me is going to be the new cargo decks and the other changes to the space stations. These space stations are one of my favorite things in the Star Citizen universe. Not just the incredibly detailed, massive planets and moons, but these stations, especially the ones in low orbit, are just so mind blowingly amazing. And they just look so cool over the planet. And the level of detail and the scale of these things, they're several kilometers across. And right now we just have kind of minimal interiors, but in 3.11, they're redesigning the whole interior spaces that we have already had. So they're going to be more easily navigated. We'll be able to find things easier. Hopefully, we're going to be getting the procedural signage they talked about. They haven't said whether or not that's going to be in 3.11, but I really hope so. These new cargo decks are going to really add a whole nother level of gameplay when they start adding new missions and features to do with them, because cargo is one of the most fundamental parts of the economy. Supply and demand, everything's driven by that. And it's how most of us make a lot of money right now, unless you lose it all in a 30K. But just be careful out there. Don't spend more than half of your money on a cargo load. And, watch for glitches in the matrix. If something seems weird, don't go buy a whole load of laranite. I'm also looking at flying through these exterior cargo areas and having some dogfights, kind of like flying through the Death Star with the TIE fighters and the Millennium Falcon. That's going to be so cool. And these new cargo service areas look like they're going to offer some interesting new gameplay as well. I don't think that we're going to have too much in 3.11. We're going to be able to buy some goods here, but in future, I think there's going to be a lot more available, including cargo missions. Now, they've also talked about players being able to store cargo and store items here on these cargo decks. So that's going to be something really interesting if we're going to be able to possibly store our purchased components and cargoes here, sell them to other players, create a whole nother level of interactive cargo and trading gameplay between each other. So a little over a week ago, there was a post on Spectrum by Molly talking about a major change to the Restop Armistice Zones. They are going to be doing away with Armistice Zones and having counters for bad behavior. So if you're a criminal, there's going to be new major defenses. Right now, there's two twin-size forward turrets on each of the landing pads and some of the other areas. They're going to be making those destructible, and they're also making larger turrets. So ranging from the small S4 turrets, now destructible, up through the size 6 sentries, which we see in the Claim Jumper missions, to all new size 10 turrets. That's incredible. Massive monstrosities. And then they're going to respawn after 5 minutes. So destructible, but respawning. And these are those size 10 turrets that we saw in the Inside Star Citizen a couple of weeks ago. These are going to be very cool. One of the other features that I'm super excited about is the new inventory management system. So this is using the new building blocks UI that they've been developing, and it's going to give us access and visual management of our inventory in our backpack, our chest armor, our leg storage, our vehicles, and then eventually into crates and other players. So this is a good step towards the physicalized inventory system that we're going to have. And we're going to be able to loot players, be able to take things and put them into crates, like you've been able to do with the FPFS minables. But this is going to create a much more visually manageable system, which just super excites me because the immersion of Star Citizen, of being able to interact with objects, that's one of the things that really sets it apart. Now, the new bearing grenade launcher is going to be just crazy. So this has got a drum-fed grenade magazine, and I love the bearing line of weapons. They just look really, really cool. Very kind of modern day, but kind of futuristic. And this thing looks like it's going to be a low P, so I don't know. It's going to be crazy fun. The new friend is also really good looking. It's very clean, a lot better functionality. They're moving away from the old flash builds to the new building blocks. And not only does this look better, but I think it's going to give us a lot more flexibility and functionality moving forward in the future. It also looks a lot more responsive, which that's great. Prisons are also getting new kiosks, kind of commissary where you're able to buy items. Plus, also they're redoing the escape routes and making some other changes, so it's not going to be nearly as easy to escape now. I've only been in prison once. Accidentally, I was framed. New force reactions are going to add some interesting new immersion and realism to the universe, where if you're in a ship and it gets impacted, if you're shot, you're going to get knocked back. If you're being shot, you're going to feel the impacts on your body and it's going to affect your aim. If you're standing in a ship and you're not seat belted in and it's violently maneuvering, or if you hit another ship, it's going to throw you around. So this is going to change multi-crew gameplay here going forward. The new throw system looks really cool because not only is it going to make it easier to throw grenades, but it's going to let us throw almost anything. We're going to be able to throw picos and basketballs, but just about anything is going to have a much better throwing functionality, so that's going to be very cool. And a whole nother iteration to the Planet Tech where they've replaced new textures on all the moons and planets throughout the Stanton system. So that's Hurston, Microtech, 12 moons. We're going to have to go around and visit every single one of them and see how they've changed, because the height maps in 310 were pretty dramatic changes and look spectacular. So I really want to see how this changes things. It also looks like there's less rocks, so let's go out and drive some Cyclones. And we finally have a new starter ship, the Origin 100 series, the 100, the 125, and the 135. I got a 135 because it's got more cargo, it's got 6 SCU, and these are just sleek little ships, really sexy. Should be able to fit into the Carrack, definitely going to fit a couple of them into the 890. Any of the ships that'll carry a snub. It's got a ramp, it's got a bed. By far the best starter ship, I think. I'm really excited to fly these things around. So I'm really excited about 311. A lot of new stuff with the space stations, new gameplay, new textures on all the planets and moons. Can't wait to get around and see everything. Drive Cyclones everywhere with the Yacht Club. If you want to join us, hop in the Discord below. If you like this content, please click the like and subscribe. I'm going to be making a lot more videos on content and commentaries. So I will see you around the verse.